Okay, so what we're going to be talking about in the video today is order of operations, which is the basis for solving multi-step equations. So if you've ever seen a big old hairy equation, 8 squared plus 4 times 11 minus 15 divided by 8 squared, the order of operations is very easy to figure out, especially in the cases of trying to solve these multi-step equations. Okay, so we're going to jump right in. We're going to start with an acronym. Acronyms are always fun and exciting. So PEMDAS, pancake explosion, many deaths are suspected. That is one. But actually, I want to write out what each one means. So P stands for parentheses, and I'll write that down. Then the E is exponents. M is multiplication. I'll just put multi. D is division. A is addition. And S is subtraction. So, couple key points to remember here. If you ever come across a multi-step equation, remember PEMDAS. This is very, very, very important. You always do the stuff in the parentheses first, then you do the exponents or the powers. So the exponents would look something like that. Multiplication, which is whatever number, then division, you've seen that, addition, and then subtraction. Now, addition and subtraction are kind of fun because they don't have to go addition, then subtraction. You actually go from just left to right. So, for example, if you had 4 plus 8 minus 6, you wouldn't just do, it would just go from left to right. So I'm going to put L to R because that's incredibly important. So left to right. So when you do addition and subtraction, you just go from left to right. PEMDAS is just, a fun acronym to remember the different order of operations. So if you absolutely need to, go back into the video. If you're definitely important to take notes on PEMDAS, you're going to use it for the rest of your math life. So very important. All right, jumping right in. So 70 divided by 5 squared minus 10 plus 6 times 5. So very exciting. So from our PEMDAS equation, we are going to do the parentheses. Oh, no parentheses, so I guess we don't have to do it. So we're just going to do 5 squared. So 5 squared, which is just 5 times itself, you would write down 70 divided by 25. 5 times 5 is 25 minus 10 plus 6 times 5. Excellent. All right, then after that, we are going to go ahead and do our multiplication first. So 70, 25 minus 10 plus 30. Because 6 times 5 is 30, and that comes straight down here. And then we're going to go ahead and then do our division. So 70 divided by 25, I believe, is 2.8 minus 10 plus 30. And then 2.8 would round up to, so you do 2.8 minus 10, it'll get you a negative number, and I believe your answer will be 22.8. So important thing to bring up, it is very important to show your work. I'll put that down. Show it. Show your work. It's very, very important. Your math should be neat enough to the point where your problem will look like a piece of pizza. So if you notice that when you're solving, it'll slowly break down until it finally gets to one answer. It should be neat enough to look like a pyramid, essentially. So it will eventually break down like that. All right, so moving right along. 4 squared plus 3 squared divided by 6 plus 3. Now, these are good, but you have to remember that these can always be written a different way. So, oops, sorry about that. Let's just move back up here. I'll erase that. Get out of here, you crazy 4. No one likes you. All right. I'm kidding. Okay. Right back to where we were. So just a heads up, this problem can also look similar to what I'm about to write out. So these two problems are essentially the exact same thing. They're the exact same thing. 4 squared plus 3 squared, and then that line right above them is the division. So that's just that line right there. You just tilt it on its side. 6 plus 3. So whenever you see a problem like this, it's not more complicated. It's just written differently. So we'll go right back to PEMDAS, parentheses. There are no parentheses yet, so we'll go ahead and do our squares. So 4 squared. We'll just do 4 squared and 3 squared, and that'll come straight down. Then that will be 16 plus 9. That'll be over. We'll do 6 plus 3. 6 plus 3 right down there. The plus 3 should be a minus 1. This should be a minus 1, not a plus 3. So we'll scratch that. We'll just do minus 1. Should be minus 1, not the other way, not plus 3. So it should just be a minus 1, not a plus 3. I apologize. Minus 1. So that's just 6 minus 1. Minus 1. I apologize. See, it's easy to catch your mistakes when you do this. So 16 plus 9, which is going to turn out to be 25. 25. And 25. And then put a line right under that. And then 6 minus 1, which is going to be 5. 5 into 25. So pretty simple. 5 divided by 25 is 5. Yay, and that is perfectly correct. So just always remember PEMDAS, 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 PEMDAS. Very important. Moving right along. All right, cool. We got a funky green. All right, finally have some parentheses that we can take care of. All right, so this whole thing is in a parentheses. Now, this can be very tricky because this little parentheses kind of floating out here on the outside of this whole equation. You're actually going to wait to do that last because it's just simpler to break the whole thing down in the middle first because it is in the parentheses, so you should do it first anyways. So we'll do 3 plus 4. And then actually this should be in parentheses as well. So negative 2 to the third, which is simply going to be a negative 8. 3 plus 4 minus 8 plus 5. And we'll put that in parentheses. And the third on the outside. And since we all have subtraction and addition left, we'll just do it from left to right. So 3 plus 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, minus 8 plus 5. And then that number will come down to negative 1. It'll come down to 4. And we'll do 4 to the third, because that'll be in the parentheses still. So 4 to the third. Then 4 times itself. 3 times, which is going to turn out to be 64, just like that. You see how I got a nice smooth pyramid coming down just like this? Smooth pyramid just like that. That means you're doing something right. So that smooth pyramid is actually going to help out a lot. All right, so we're getting into some hairier stuff. 8 minus 9 to the third plus 3 plus 2 to the second divided by 5 plus 4. So you see all those parentheses, you see all the division, you see all the multiplication, and in your mind you kind of start to panic. So we'll just make it simple. So that'll be 8 minus 9, which is, got to do the stuff in the parentheses first. 8 minus 9, which is negative 1 parentheses third, plus 3 plus 2 is 3, 4, 5, and then 5 to the second, and that's divided by 5 plus 4. All right, then you do your simple, your parentheses. You actually do your exponents now. So negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1. Well, negative times a negative is a positive, and a positive times a negative is a negative. And anything you do 1 times 1, it's always going to be 1, so that's actually going to be a negative 1 and that'll be plus 5 squared, which is going to be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Divided by 5 plus 4. Now, this is a very tricky part. So, in reality, because you have to follow PEMDAS, you're actually going to do the 25 divided by 5 first. This always tripped me up. So, you're going to do the 25 divided by 5 first. So, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh, that's 5. How about that? So, negative 1, and then you just do plus 5 plus 4, and then you just do your simple addition. So, negative 1 plus 5 is 4 plus 4 is going to be equal to 8. Perfect. That is exactly what we need to do. So you see how this problem, you have a perfect pyramid, you're breaking it down, breaking it down, breaking it down, and then eventually you'll finally get your answer. See, and especially in case if you mess something up, which happens quite often, a teacher can come in with a red pen or a yellow marker and say, oh, well, here's what you did wrong, here's what you did right, here's what you didn't do right. You know, all of this, it's important to show your work in solving multi-step equations. That is it. So, thank you for being such fantastic listeners. Smiley face. Smiley face. Excellent job. That's a terrible smiley face, but that's okay. Excellent job, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.